All right, good morning, my neighbors. Welcome to another episode of BYTTT. Before you take the trade, I am testing something a little different with the mic. Hopefully, this does not clip out like it does before I tried restarting my computer. And actually, I didn't get my lighting right. Let's get this going as well. There we go. Boom. All right, boom, boom. All right, everything's perfect. So yeah, so we got a lot to cover. So we're just gonna go ahead and get right to it because the market has been moving. Let's go ahead and go to the charts. So a couple of things that I noticed recently. I was kind of sharing this with the community, and I was finding this very entertaining. So I think some newer traders, you might have some appreciation with what I'm about to go over right now before we get deep into it. But if you really think about it, good morning, what it do. What we're seeing here is just every time the bears try to take control, the market says no, we're not going to let you. So here's a couple of instances. So we had the August, kind of going back, so this is August 5th. We had a massive drop. We gapped down. Things was going crazy, and then we had a nice low bounce. The retest of it was roughly around here on August 8th, and then the second retest was over here in September. So this is the one that I think really controlled the trend and reversed everything. So this is our pivot point. So the first thing it was going to do, it's going to put pressure. So if I actually just take this out for like 2 seconds so I can kind of point it out, if we look at it like this, the first thing the market did was it kind of compressed the price as soon as this loads, right? It kind of compressed the price and it kind of created this wedges action. You see how that kind of looks, right? So we get this wedges actions. I think this is that pivotal point when the market actually decided it was going to continue to that upside or not. So I just wanted to point that out. So let's see how this actually reacts going here. So last week, right, we had a nice little impact here at this level. This is a key level of resistance. And if we go back, we have order blocks, daily order blocks. We had our all-time high roughly around here, and you can see this was our support area that gave us this bounce here, and it failed right here. So when we went ahead and came in to rebalance that area, that is where we're getting that impact that, hey, we already rebalanced it and we're back here again. We're knocking at the door and they're knocking it right back out again. So I am finding this very interesting because I think this downtrend into this downtrend, these two here were the key pivotal points, trying to see if they can attack these areas here. So that said, now that we kind of continue to make all-time highs, or at least on a track to try to make all-time highs, I want to see what we're going to do with this level. And I'm not going to spend too much time on this part, but basically we're going to go ahead and look at yesterday's high. Let me go ahead and put this here. Actually, you know what? Let me take this out so that way I don't confuse everybody. Right? I'm going to look at this high and see if we can break out this top. If we can break out this top, that's when we're going to go ahead and test this area. And whatever trend that happens on a daily, we're probably going to get some retests, especially with this upward trend line. So let's go ahead and get into it. We got ourselves oil. Remember, we kind of blocked this out on oil, letting you know, hey, this is a very, very strong pivotal point. My drawings basically kind of illustrate what went on with oil. I haven't traded oil all the way through like I normally do, but you can kind of see we kind of went through this order block. We try to hold the order block here and yesterday, and now we're using that area as a resistance area. I'm thinking oil is going to come down some more, maybe even come back and test 67.75. All right, let's go ahead and get into gold. Gold has been doing some fun stuff. That's why I wanted to reset the drawing on this one. As you notice, I have nothing on here, but if we go ahead, where's my toolbox? There we go. If we go ahead and just start with our original trends, we got one that's right here, and then we got ourselves a deviation that happened roughly around here. There's our highs here. Remember, you cannot make a higher low without a higher high. That's how it kind of works, right? So you got to get that higher low here from that higher high. This higher low could be another trend, but until this is broken, I am not going to adjust that trend line, not at all. So as we kind of dig into this, I want to see this price kind of compress into here and see if they can continue to some all-time highs. But for that to happen, we got to see what happens with the dollar. We'll get back to that one. So let's look at silver. I kept these drawings here for a reason. See how silver is giving that bounce? That is gold giving that bounce as well as people start to invest more into the metals. So I want to see, can we hold this level? And if we do, in the next couple of days, I can see silver testing its level roughly around that $32. And if it tests that level around that $32, look for gold to actually do the same thing here. That's what I'm looking for. So keep an eye out on silver. The British pound, it's starting to do that bounce. Now I drew this a couple of days ago saying that this could be a head and shoulders. I am anticipating some type of pullback on the British pound. Get up into this area, maybe this zone, maybe a little bit lower. Maybe they just came here for a little bit of manipulation, a little sweep, and then they come back to this level and then come back down. That is a possibility, but either way, I'm looking for a nice little bounce, forming a strong neckline, and then we're going to go ahead and go up. If we cannot recapture and take some highs, we're going to see the British pound fall, and that's going to make the market fall. Here's ES. ES continues to rally, and I think each time that the market kind of pops up as far as the dollar, it pulls it back. That's the ES is just holding its weight on its own. And then this is the Russell. Now this one was a little bit of a surprise to me because the Russell usually goes up after ES and NQ starts to go down. So this one going up on top of an order block tells us that they're just investing in the markets as a whole, and they're not taking money out of the major caps or anything like that. So keep an eye on that one. And then the last one is the US dollar. It's at the level. This is what I was kind of pointing out last week. I said the dollar is going to get to possibly the 200 EMA. It's been a long time since it's been there. Again, it's not 200 days, but still, we've been trying to drive this price down on the dollar to break that 100 level. They needed some type of sense of a pullback so that way they can get back down here. When I saw we broke past the 50 EMA, you can see that the 200 EMA was going to be the next level. I'm anticipating some type of pullback. If we hold above this order block, let me go box this out for you. If we hold above this area, I will not be surprised that the dollar starts to rally again, and then the market's going to fall a little more, maybe. But right now, I can see this come all the way back down into this order block and then push up to this level. But we do have this one right here, and it's real pretty. Other than the fact that we got a nice little kick here, I am anticipating some type of hold or support here. If not, we'll fill the bottom of here and then come back up again. All right, so let's go ahead and get into NQ. Now, if you have not been on my floor before, I am very simple. I try not to make it complicated because there are new people that get started. So go ahead, hit the like, hit the subscribe button and the bell button so that way you know when I'm online. We are doing a very simple strategy. It's opening range breakout. Very simple. A lot of traders use it. We're going to box out the first 15 minutes of the market when it opens up, and the first 5-minute candle to close will determine our direction on where we're going. Other than that, we will be taking trades based on one of the indicators I built, which is a 45-minute tester, and I love it. I'm going to point out something that I did earlier this morning because currently I am up. Oh, actually, I can't show it from here. Bear with me. I got to kind of tweak this a little bit because I got my login on this chart, and I want to put that on another chart so I can show you my P&L. All right, let's do that. Give me another chart. So currently I am up $200, and you already know my goal is to have between $500 and $600 on the evaluation. Oh, quick update on Thursday's opening range breakout. That one was a rough ride. It was completely rough. I actually had to restart my evaluation, so that really sucks, but it's all part of the game as long as you plan accordingly. So that said, I will be doing my opening range breakout again, and I'm gonna try to make sure this evaluation passes this time. All right, so that's that. Let me log out of this and then log in here. All right, put that on the side, and that should pop up my P&L. And count summary. You're not popping up my P&L. Why not? Okay, I see why. Let's fix this problem. Boom and boom. All right. So yeah, there we go. $216. So This is going to be another ride. Actually, I can get myself ready because I'm gonna be rocking with that. And yeah, we should be good to go. No, we're not. What's going on with this chart? Hold on, let me reload this because it's not doing something it's not supposed to do. Save and reload. All right, market is open. I didn't get my bell. Oh, I'm not in Thinkorswim, that's why. Let's get that going. All right, market is open. Let's get you out the way. All right, P&L is working fine. All right, so we don't need that right now. Let's bring that back. All right, perfect. So far, first 15 minutes look like they're trying to make it a red candle. We'll see how that goes. And we had a nice little run, but it's a slow run to the upside, but it just tells me that the bulls are not done buying. Hey, good morning, D-Boy. How you doing? So this is going to be very interesting as we go into here, because right now, let me come down to a 5-minute chart to kind of point this out. It looks like, ooh, okay, Dell's still running. I want to show y'all what I saw on Dell in a little bit. But if we look at this 5-minute chart, you could kind of see, if I squeeze this chart, very much looks like, let me just do it and I'll just draw it on there. Kind of looks like this, and then we get ourselves a arc that kind of looks like that. Kind of like that, where we kind of having this rounded bottom as we try to get up into here, couldn't get it, get up into here, couldn't get it. So now we're trying to see if we can get back up into here. So it's like we changed the arc from here to now here. So I'm thinking that we're doing like a very upside down H, double H, or however way you want to look at it. It just looks like they're trying to find ways to find new supporters to that upside. And the current trend is this one here, which they just bounced it. Look at that bounce. Woof! That was violent. Right off this trend line roughly, right into here. So how do we do it normally? We take ourselves this level here, and this level here. I'll be bullish if I'm above here. I'll be bearish if I'm below here. And we'll see how that goes. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get these other accounts logged in. Looks like no errors on my microphone so far, so I think I finally fixed the problem. That's a good thing. Alright, that one's logged in. So while I'm doing that and waiting for this to finish up, let me go ahead and point out what I saw on Dell. Right now I am at 19% profit. So I was looking at Dell, and Dell's in a very interesting spot, right? Kind of had like a downtrend, then they had another deviation of the downtrend, which was probably these two. Yeah, I think I did that off the two candles. So we got this angle here that I'm looking at, like, hey, there's a possibility that they want to go ahead. Let me fix that a little bit, and they want to kind of like take this downtrend and change that angle up. So looking at this one, I do think that we broke out of that. That's what kind of created this consolidation. So what happens before a major trend break? Before a major trend breaks, a minor trend has to start first. So our minor trend is over here, and this was the one that was putting a lot of pressure and testing. So since we made this new high after this level here, it looks like now this is our swing low or pivot, right? And it's taking us up to this upside, and they're trying to fill out this gap. We got a little bit left here at about 132. I am aiming for it to get the top of this order block roughly here. Let me go ahead and show you what that order block looks like. And I am very curious on them breaking into here, or at the very least testing this area before they start to reverse. Now, here's another one over here which could kind of give a little bit of concern, which is this here. That's the one that we're kind of fighting with now, and I think there might be some pullbacks. I think it really ends somewhere around here. That could be a bit of a challenge, but if we can get some momentum and really hold some trajectory, we're probably going to come all the way up into that 150. That is the contract that I'm kind of looking forward to start printing later on this week. We'll see how that goes. All right, let's get back over to NQ. I don't want to inundate y'all with a lot of this stock stuff. All right, so let's come back over to the 15-minute. Let's see what that looks like so far. All right, so we got ourselves our, well, not you. All right, so we got ourselves a high of 26.5925. That is our high, and then down here we got ourselves our low, which is 2605.75. So we'll see what happens with those there. Actually, let me bring in this because I'm curious on what that looks like. Probably give us a nice little bounce to that upside. Actually, let me get some colors off of here so I don't confuse y'all. I think it's gonna stay bullish. We really try to make our run down to this downside, but it looks like whatever accumulation is happening along this trend, they repeated it right in this area here at this point. So I think this was the swing low that they're going to try to use to take out this swing high right there. And then put this as general so we don't confuse anything. Boom. Right, and then they're trying to attack into that. So we're probably going to get ourselves some more highs along the way. But again, we got to wait for those 7 minutes before we start to anticipate that. Let's go ahead and go through some other tickers. Let's see. Oh, look at Tesla. Tesla is trying to make a push back up. It's probably what's driving us up here. No pun intended, right? But it could be trying to get to fill this gap. Now they do have earnings coming up, so I want to say get something long term, because you know this thing can get very volatile during earnings, right? But if it can get this gap fill before, this could be the target that they're looking for to kind of recalibrate going into earnings. So that's going to make things very interesting. Then we got Meta. Meta, really? You're gonna do that now? I was just in Meta, and these mofos just drifted themselves all the way up, and I was like, you know what, let me just cut this thing. It was a small position anyway, so I was like, let me just take whatever I find. So I got out of that Meta, and then now it kind of pushed down, so it kind of sucks. AMD had a nice little run. I like the run that AMD is on. Nice W, but again, we just take things that make sense. This is our pivot point. I think that needs to be retested, but either way, we have a deviation of that point, which is roughly here, and we're breaking through that, and that's the one that we're kind of doing price action now. So I think we might fail this order block here on AMD, roughly about here, maybe to here. Nah, maybe a little higher, maybe about here. Yeah, something like that. So that's probably what we're looking at on AMD, trying to get itself into the lower register, maybe even test the 50 EMA before it starts to bounce up again. So 157 bullish, and then anything under that maybe bearish, possibly. Nvidia is doing a little bit of a pullback. Are we going to get a two-touch that looks like this? We'll see. I'll just leave that on there and see if we recapture that. All right, let's get back over to NQ, because those things are going down. That means NQ is probably coming down, and that's why you can't really hold to one thesis, right? I was like, it's looking like it could be bullish because we kind of bought that level, 50 EMA on the 15-minute, kind of swung down, a little bit of a manipulation. This trend has been an area of interest for more upside. Looks very toppy here, but if we go over to the daily, it's been bullish. Like, there's so much things here that just tells me more upside, but I'm here for a good time, not a long time. So I am not going to go ahead and look at it in that regard. I'm going to look at the 15 minute. This thing looks like it's toppy. So other than that, I still think bullish. Maybe pullback. But let's see what happens. If we can get a close above that 659, we should be able to take some nice strides to that upside. Let them decide. Let them put their money at risk. We're going to find a smart entry. All right. We got ourselves 5 minutes before the market settles the 15-minute candle. Let's go over to my green list. Green list, I got better. Oh, General Electric. This thing has been very interesting. I just didn't like the option contracts. That's why I want to say this was like mid-September. I was looking at this as a potential bull flag breakout. Did it on one of my horns versus claws segments. I gotta get back to that. I hate this part of the season. But anyways, this thing looks like a nice little upside down H to the upside, and it looks like it's going to continue. They're about to have earnings on October 22nd, so I'm very curious of what's going to happen there with that one. Let's see, MasterCard. This thing was playing very annoying in the middle of September. I was looking for a nice little breakdown pullback to about here, something like this, and then take off, and it just never really gave it. It really didn't. But you can kind of see it starting to really push to that upside, getting up to that upper register, but I just don't think the pullback is deep enough for it to give any long term. And then of course Dell, we already went over Dell, and I think this thing can still go up. Let's see, let me look at old bull case stocks. So this was bullish on my charts. Gilead. This is in the healthcare space. This was a trend I drew at the time when I did this, and you can kind of see we're still kind of riding that trend. Actually, I could put that pivot here now. Oh, actually, that could be our uptrend right now, with the Stoke being here, being in the bullish state on the daily. Let me see what the weekly looks like. Tough. Oh. Except for that monthly. So they spent they after this reversal with this morning star on the monthly, it looked like Gilead has been on a 1, 2, 3, 4 month uprise, right? So this is going back to July, going into the healthcare space with open enrollment and everything else. Depending on how their earnings goes, I will not be surprised to see Gilead above $89. Let's go probably even 90. Oh, and I am keeping an eye on Upstart. Let me add this to my watch list. A good friend of mine, we was having a conversation. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna put it on red. This thing does look like it's trying to push up. Shout out to those that's been playing things like Affirm and all that. I've been seeing some profits in the communities out there, and it's like, wow, this thing is just taking off. I think Upstart is in that same space that's going to go ahead and get some more benefits to it. Maybe get up into that 59.60. Oh, I think the true entry was roughly off that 50 EMA. Ooh, $37, $20 right there. All right, let's go ahead and get back over to NQ, and then I'm going to bring up one more ticker before we get wrapped up on this, because there was another one I've been eyeballing. Oh, we might finish red. All right, before we get into that, CCJ, put this also in your list. This one has been pushing up. I'm a little upset because I saw this on Friday and I thought about taking something to the upside on this one, but with this pullback today, I may consider going and taking this position and probably playing up into that 53 range and see if we can hold some support. Might be a little short trade, might be, but I'm gonna be very conscious on what could happen at this level. Could be a rejection, but overall this trend looks very strong, and I think this is the trend that they're on right now. Boom. And I'm looking for this to be a bull flag breakout. So if that's the case, I'm expecting this pole to play out. All right, let's go to NQ. All right, our 15 minutes should be settling very soon. There we go. Yeah, finishes as a red doji. Very, very indecisive. All right, so let's see, 5 minutes. Oh, and then note to self, last week, that Thursday trade, trying to play that upside. Well, let's start from the beginning. We tried to play it on the downside. We broke through, had a nice clean close to the downside, and it gave us a relatively strong entry for some type of pullback. And the market just said, no, we're not going to do that. And it reversed on a V-shaped recovery and got out to the top side of that block or that opening range, right? Those two trades was very tricky, and this is where your thesis and your strategy and your experience in trading comes into part, because it still did the play out of the 15-minute breakout towards the end of the day, but it took a very long time of accumulation as they slowly used the opening range as an area of interest, so that way they could go ahead and load up their contract. That's the tricky part about it. So I'm not saying that that's going to happen today, but in the event that it happens, I'm going to shut it down at 10:15 just to avoid any, craziness that could happen, because we are trading kind of sideways, and we hit some levels yesterday that was a little bit unexpected, especially against the news. So just be smart, be conscious, and do not force the trade, especially when going into earnings season. Trust me, there's going to be more than enough opportunities in the market. Just be patient, folks. All right, we're still doing this dance in the middle. Actually, let me go ahead and get rid of this circle. Don't need that anymore. I was just pointing something out for y'all. Now, this would be fun, and it probably would give us some more extensions to the downside if we were to get a breakdown to the downside. The only reason why I'm saying that that's a possibility is because this trend has been respected since Asian session and London session. So I wonder if all these players are still in here, and if they are, they're probably going to take their money at the top here, or they're going to have their stop loss start to get tight here. So this could break down and really start to swing down and swing low off of the momentum of this consolidation that kind of just drifted its way up. We'll see. We'll see. For my QQQ players out there, if we're going to go short, actually, let me grab this chart. I like to use the 1 hour when plotting out where I think the market may want to go, what level they're looking for. Maybe. I got the 50 EMA at 494 on the 1 hour, and then the 200 at 488. 494 and 488. Let's see what the contracts look like. 488, they pretty much are giving them away. It's at 3 cents, and then 494 is about 29 cents. So we might go with the 494 just to be conscious. So let's go ahead and save that order. Boom, boom, and boom. All right, and in an event that it breaks out, I would say it would be the 500 level. Now we're so close to it. We're knocking at the door. ES is still pushing up. So 500, not a bad price. If you want to be a little conservative, maybe 504, 503. Yeah, let's go with 502. 502 is probably the better one in that regard. All right, save the order, boom and boom. All right, so we got those things locked in, and we'll see where that goes from there. Quick little update as this thing's consolidated. My pizza play is getting its butt whipped. Ugh, it's just so disturbing what they keep doing in my pizza play. But again, I am following my thesis. I am guiding along this original trend line. So this, I think I'm down like 50% on this thing, but I'm anticipating that they're going to catch right here. It's more of a longer term play. So I'm thinking that they're trying to break this downward trend out and start to go up to that upside. Again, here's the weekly. This is what it looks like in the bearish state, and then this the monthly. It's been beat up for a very long period of time, especially going down from this level. I think we are starting to round the bottom, and we'll just see what happens from there. And that last low was roughly about here. About here. So I think at least a test to 56, maybe the 200 EMA is where I really want to go. Then I'll start to scale myself out. But yeah, that's what pizza's doing. And it's being annoying, and it's being a jerk. But it is what it is. All right, back to NQ. Did it break out yet? Ugh, still no breakout. Still no breakout. So if you find yourself, oh, actually, my baby, I forgot about. Why did I not bring up UNH? This thing gapped down. Oh, it gapped down something vicious too, and it's because they adjusted their pull forward guidance, and people are anticipating that there's some type of weakness in UNH. Listen, it's healthcare. Ain't no weakness. That's how I see it, right? I'm thinking as soon as it finds some type of support, maybe if I could get myself a nice little solid 2 candle movement, I could go ahead and play this gap. So look out for a gap fill on UNH. I'm probably going to talk about this a lot throughout my trading floor, so stay tuned to this. Don't forget to hit the bell on that one. All right, that is a $50 move. They dropped 8% and they got solid earnings. And if you ever want to kind of look at financials, by all means, your financials are all inside the TradingView too. So if you're using TradingView, you can find out all the details here. Nothing in here tells me that they're in trouble. I just, no, not at all. Anyways, moving on. Let's go ahead and get back over to here. And we thought you're going to break out at the bottom, and it says, nope, we're not going to do that. We're just going to go ahead and bounce. So we get some more consolidation again. Let's take a peek at the news. Let's see if there's anything that we need to keep an eye on. Oh, even my Celsius is doing something nice. All right, cool. All right, let's see. We got ourselves my FX book, one of my favorites. That's what I use. That's Forex Factory, Financial Juice, all of them. They're all good. I just like my FX book. That's what I learned first. So we got a Fed speaking at 11:30. Nothing at 10. So there's nothing we're waiting for there. Another Fed speaking at 1. Monthly budget statement is over at 2 o'clock, so we might get some adjustments. And then overnight, there's going to be a Fed running his mouth again. So we got 3 Feds running their mouths today. London may be fun because they're going to have a lot of their CPI data and PPI data is coming in. Actually, did they already have CPI? London, did you already have yours? No, they did unemployment and inflation rate. Canadian had CPI. So yeah, so their PPI information and their inflation rate's going to be kicking in, so there might be some opportunities there. So I'm going to be doing some overnights tonight, and then we got jobs reports on Thursday. So those are the things that's probably going to be paying attention in the market. Could we consolidate into all of that? Maybe, but yeah, we take what the charts put in front of us. That's all we do. We will see. Come on, decide, market, decide. Oh, I did do analysis on gold with the same opening range breakout, and it was successful too, but it was trickier. And I think it's only because I'm not experienced in playing opening range breakout on gold. If I do, I usually play it off my alert. So I'm going to be still playing around with this and kind of testing it along the way. So that's our 15-minute. That's our breakout. It didn't hold. It's coming back inside of the block. Let's see, dollar. What are you doing over there, dollar? Ooh, might be rejecting that 200. Telling you, we might get ourselves a nice little rally. Let that dollar fall. Let's see what the VIX have. What's going on with VIX? Yup. Get a nice little pullback on this VIX. Market going to go ahead and do a nice little push. Everybody wants to see the S&P 500 at 6,000. Now, the funny thing about that 6,000 level, I remember when they were chasing for 5,000. Roughly around 2021 going into 22, I think it was, and it hit the brakes like right before. I think it was like 49.50 or something like that. Downward gap. Yeah, and then there's a value gap too. Oh yeah, yes, absolutely. You got that, and then you got these bad boys here. You got one here, and you got one here. Where are you? Boom. Bullish. And This one bullish. You got those almost for the 1 hour. Let me check out the 1 hour. Ew. Yeah. I gotta start. I remember I used to be really good with the VIX. I used to even. I don't know. Do you still take calls on the VIX, like option calls? I haven't done that since the time I used to track the VIX. But I remember taking calls on the VIX, and hedge positions and everything like that. Do you still do those? Especially right here when this thing had a nice little run up between $19 and $23. All right, we got 4 minutes, not 14, 4 minutes until they get to finish out this next 15-minute. Yeah, it tells a lot. It tells a lot. All right, let me go ahead and put this back on Dixie and put this back on NQ. 15-minute. Look at that, another bounce, another bounce. Tell you, they doing this dance right now. They're doing this dance. All right, so let me go ahead and while I'm waiting for that, let's go to Celsius. They make the energy drink, the competitor to Red Bull. Interesting spot. Interesting spot. For those that are asking, what is that green sign? Those that are on my beta team, you probably already know what that means. This one was anticipated that we were going to get a green candle here, and that's what it kind of pointed out here, and we got a nice little push up to this level. And I think I'm looking for continuation, maybe even get to the 50 EMA. If this thing can get to the 50 EMA, you're talking about 3670, 3680. That would be a nice little level. And they keep drawing this back on this leap. I think they try to scare me out of my leaps on this because I got a vertical leap. We'll see how that goes. We will see. Like it's a vertical, right? And this is what kind of throws me off, right? And the good thing is it's so cost effective. It's a vertical, but the vertical is negative 105%. Like how can it be negative 105? And then the insurance is on the other side of the vertical, so shouldn't it be balanced out? So I think if I close the position, it'd be just freaking impossible for them to charge me that, right? So I think it adjusts itself as we get closer to expiration. This is the first time I'm doing vertical leaps, so it's just fun to kind of see how it kind of moves and fluctuates, and I think that's a shift in volatility. All right. Yeah, there is nothing there, nothing at all. Let's go ahead and look at CrowdStrike. You know, the bastards that basically dumped the market. Let's see what they're looking like. Oh, they ain't letting you fall though. Not with all the scare. Ooh, whoa, 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 whoa. Don't fall for the tricks. If this thing histogram starts to take over, you have an uptrend that is not substantiated by its histogram. Now, we are in a bullish state. It can continue to the upside. It could be that they came for this gap. It could be a lot of things. But right now, one, this rejection coming back into the fair value gap makes me question the stochastic turning. That's another question. And then you have this divergence. Now, this can be a divergence, plays it up into here, roughly where the cross of the 50 and the 200 EMA meets. If it shows me reversal there, actually, let me push this thing up because I'm gonna eyeball this one. Let's see how this is. Reversal? Question mark? So what I'm thinking is, as it gets down there, if there's like some type of accumulation that's happening as it's falling down, I'm thinking that eventually, I got a signal on my Tesla. I'm gonna go check out who might be shorting that bad boy. As it's falling down, it could be getting new buyers buying up the dip along the way. So if there's enough buyers as it gets closer to $287, it could build up some steam and then boom, explodes right back up, liquidating any new bears and using that liquidity to propel it to that upside. So keep an eye on 287, 285 CrowdStrike, because it looks like they haven't filled the rest of this gap, and we could get ourselves a nice little gap play right there. All right. Ooh, UNH is still falling. I'm telling you, this is gonna be painful for them for a little bit. Let's go check out Tesla, and then we'll check out NQ. All right, so Tesla, where it is right now, nice little push. We try to fill the gap. They rejected the gap using that first 1 hour candle. So it's not like we had a strong push in that. So if we do not recapture this candle's wick all the way back up to that 224, I can see that the bulls that are in here are going to be like, that's as much as we can get. We're out. And then it's going to probably create some liquidity sweeping, probably from here, or it's going to come shallow to here. So maybe get a nice little bump and run play down to the downside. Maybe. Let's see how that affects NQ. Let's look at it on the 15-minute. So I'm looking at this. So I remember having a conversation with Chloe a while back, and I was testing an idea, and y'all can test this if y'all want, but I haven't done it in a while because it's so hit or miss. But now with a little bit more knowledge, maybe it could make sense. So this is like probably pushing 2 years ago, a year and a half maybe. And I was saying, well, if a doji is a signal of reversal, shouldn't a second doji be a signal of the reversal of the reversal? So double doji continuation. So I kind of have that like in the back of my head. So right now in this 15-minute, I'm anticipating that we're going to continue to the upside using that thesis of a double doji continuation. Now, it does not say that we should get in here. Again, it's very volatile inside of here for obvious reasons. We've been trying to get out of this range and we're failing to do so. So I'm not saying that in that regard. But if we do catch a support and start to take out what looks like the start of what could be a downtrend-ish coming on from this angle, we could get ourselves a breakout of everybody that wanted to be bearish here and those that were so bullish, and we start to really wedge price, and we kind of like compress into that. Let me change the angle. So compress that triangle coming in like this real tight, and because it gets so tight, that solar pop up, boom, and then explodes. So I'm thinking that's what's happening here, because we bought up right here inside of that 50 EMA, something we've been doing all this morning, and that's aligned with that same trend line starting back from the London session. So let's see. Like I said, I'm going to give y'all the safer entries to the best of my ability, but if you see something that you're comfortable with and you're trailing it properly and you're making sure you lock in your profits, by all means, back to my bullish state. Okay, Dell, I see you. Dell was actually negative for a little bit and had as much as 35%. Now it's back at 21%, trying to make its move. Let me go over to the list of bears that I had. Oh, now CCJ was in my bear list. It was, and that was when we was kind of doing this action here coming down. So I was looking at this as retracement, then we was going to break down coming down. So this list is a little stale coming in, so ignore the fact that last week, 2 weeks, and everything else. I haven't done my video in a while, but I was looking for an extension to the downside, especially with the pullback here. But you could kind of see we rode the wave of the stochastic until we broke through the zero line and continued up. There is an investment that's happening with energy, especially in nuclear, and they're the ones that provide minerals. And in this case, for minerals, we're talking about, yes, you know it, uranium and fuel services. So as energy is going up, keep an eye on stuff like chemical and CCJ and other uranium plays. They're probably going to be the ones that's running. So we could really use like a nice little pullback, then bounce up. Something like we already made our run to here. Here's our pullback to here, and then do another extension, and that'll be your bull flag breakout. So that's why I was bearish on this list. Same thing with AMD back here. It looked like we was wedging and going to break down. MPC is a little different. Same thing. Looking for it to go down. Adobe hasn't really recovered. Actually, now that I look at this thing does look like it wants to be back to bullish. Adobe didn't really recover as much. So depending on how the pullback happens, if we can hold this level, kind of create this angle, it probably could try to go and see if it can fill this gap. Actually, back to making some more alerts. Is there a possibility we could get up into this area? So let me go ahead and put an alert here. Gap. Question mark. Boom. So a nice little pullback, has some support, and we use that support to go fill that gap. We'll see what happens there. All right, let's get back over to NQ. It's 10:06, and I still haven't found a trade. And I want to say thank you, NQ, for being not disrespectful like the last time. Last time it broke out the bottom, then it said, hey, we're going to be bearish. And then it V-shaped recovery, got up to the top, and it's like, hey, we're just trying to build up a position. And it consolidated above there. So by it staying in this range or this square or this triangle, it's being nice. It's being gentle. So we don't have a setup yet. And we just sit back, relax, kick our feet up, and just wait for it to do something. Let's go check out on gold. Let's see how the gold open range breakout. Oh, now if we played that one, look at that one. Now this didn't give us a 5-minute break to the downside, right? So that's a good thing. It didn't give us a 5-minute break to the upside. This is a good thing. So we probably would have been safe here. But so far, it looks like this 15 minutes still consolidated. We're going to make a breakout somewhere. Might not be during this trading floor, but I think if you mark out those levels, we should be able to find something good. Actually, let me see how ES is looking on theirs. ES, boom. All right, let's go with here and here. So we got ourselves bullish above here and bearish below here. All right. So we'll see how ES reacts to this. All right, back to NQ. Oof. That's not cute. Not for upside. The only thing that's going for it is the fact that we're wedging. We're making lower lows. I'm sorry. We're making higher lows while making lower highs at the same time. Usually means bullish. We'll see. We'll see. Let me go grab my screener. Let's see what's out there in the world. Let's reset. Let me set this on 1 minute again. So I got a screener and I'm looking at average volume over the past 3 months, comparing it to the past couple of days, and how far it is away from my golden zone, outside golden zone, golden crosses and death crosses, to kind of get a little bit of a sense. Let's start talking about China. PDD. So pin duo, if we look at it from the daily, you can see we had a golden cross. Could this be where they pull back on pin duo, find some support, and then it just explodes back up to the upside? Very possible, because this is one of the first retests after, you already know, the propaganda machines are telling us, hey, China is a good place to invest, and not saying anything negative, but this could be where we're going to retrace to, roughly around there. And then we probably get a nice little push to the upside. So that's pin duo. I don't think Fang has good option contracts. Net. Oh my God, I haven't seen this since the pandemic. Oh wow, let me look at this chart. NET. We are in a very, very narrow state here, but this thing looks like it's about to break out now. So I think this thing's trying to make itself a nice little rally here. MACD starting to open up. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. I meant to double click that. See how that MACD is starting to open up on the weekly? That's going to be very interesting. Boom, boom. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe this was just a retest to get into that 92. I know the target's probably going to be $100 with this run. Gotta be. So we're talking about an uptrend that went from here to here. And then now we got this angle here that got disrespected a bit. Roughly around the May drop, the August drop, and it's still held. So this is your sweeps, your manipulations. This is what's holding. I would say stop loss somewhere around 87 bucks. Oh wait, that's not that type of floor. Anyways, my bad. I kind of got in a little deep into that. But go check out net. My bad. That is not the cup of tea I was trying to get at on that one. Let's get back to business. 15 minutes. Oh, we get ourselves a break. Finally. We get ourselves a break. Now, you see how that break is sitting right at the 600 level, right? That can be a problem in itself. Let me get rid of this QQQ chart. And get myself ready for potential trade. Also, in my link, if you do not have an eval and you're looking to get yourself an eval, Elite is doing 85% off right now. You talk about fast track accounts for like 26 bucks, 100K accounts. So if you want to go ahead and give a swing at it, especially with some news coming in, probably get some volatility, that's a good way to go. I like Elite. I've been with them for a little bit. So give it a go, give it a try. If you're a beginner, listen, paper trade. I want y'all to paper trade. That way you can learn your craft, learn your strategy, learn how you're gonna play. Like that's always gonna be my priority and always important. But yeah, get yourself an account. Links down below. All right, starting to look very, very tempting to play that downside. We're under the sessions VWAP, so this thing can really make that swing. Oh man, this is gonna be tough. It's one of those momentum ones. I don't know if y'all remember when I was explaining it a while back. I'm like, these momentum ones, you want to kind of like catch it at the breakout on as low as like freaking 1 minute sometimes. But because of this class, I want to make sure y'all take y'all trades. I'm gonna follow with y'all. We're taking the trade when it breaks out and close below. So if anything, we're gonna wait for some of the oscillators kind of reset, probably come back down, and then I'll come back up, and then we'll just play it right back down. Let me see what we're probably going to be targeting. I took out quite a few of my drawings. Let me adjust this. You're probably going to go to the 2531. Or 2496. Somewhere around there is probably where some bears are waiting for us. All right, let me get this locked and loaded. All right, you see how they already starting to buy the dip. This is kind of like what happened last week. But I am still going to lean on the breakout because that is our job. No, get out my way. Get out my way. All right, let's see if I can find myself a nice little pullback here. I can feel comfortable with taking a short. It's gonna be patient because technically we could take it right at the close, but oof. Come on, baby. Give me something nice. Give me a nice little reset, and then I'll go ahead and execute this trade. Again, this could do exactly what it did last week, especially that with a lower register this 5 minute. So just be smart with what you're doing. They could V-shape recover this whole entire thing and split it right out the top side. Come on, baby. Give me something nice as far as a pullback. That was very vertical of you. Oh, still haven't found anything. Do not chase the cat, or the cat will claw back. I'm trying to be nice with it. The fight between profit takers and new people trying to short. So I'm looking for. My goal is for me to play this until 531.75. That's what I'm aiming for on this south side. All right. Could this be the pullback? I just needed to start relatively trending for me to the downside, and I can feel a little confident to do so. Alright. Get ourselves a little bit of a push. I don't think you're done with that push. Trying to be patient is so tough. So tough. I'm looking for something that just makes sense. We're right back at the block. This was an order block here. Let me put this in. This block here. I was looking for a little bit more of a rise, but okay. All right. Okay. Still waiting. Still haven't jumped in yet. Very tough to try to take it there. Because you can see we're trying to get through the zero line of this MACD on the 5 minute. Yeah, they took it back up. was very jerky. So yeah, I was like, maybe this is where it's gonna go ahead and come down. There we go. There we go. Come on. Let's give it a nice push now. I'm looking for 531. Let's go. Come on. One more. There we go. I can't let you get under 40 ticks. Come on. Give it to me. Alright, took that off the table. I'm gonna have to sit on a runner. Can't let you get into negative territory, so I'm gonna go over break even here. Oh, break even. They hit me. Alright, so that was okay of a trade in itself. Is that all you had, or did you just come for a sweep? What was your game plan here? Oh, it might be all it had. Let me see what that 5 minute looks like. 5 minute looked like it was going to give it all up to. I should spin the block on that one. I try to avoid my scalping too much. I told myself I was going to go do one shot at it, and it looks like it's just giving me the only one shot. That's why I said, nah, maybe we won't spin. Come on, let's get to 5. I'm looking for 531, but that 550 bounced it so much. Yeah, that could have been one more strike to it, because I'm trying to get under this order block, but again, we're at the lower register of this because we took so long in here. So this could be one of those where it does it, but it's just going to be very, very choppy to get to that 531. I'm still targeting that area. I think we can get there. I think there's going to be some buyers sitting at that level. Oh, there we go. Let's see if we can blast through 550, and it just will not hold it. Just will not hold it. Just won't hold it. Because that 550 level is a tough spot. And that's what I was saying, like with those momentum trades, like if we could have just catch it as it was making this move. Look how deep this pullback was. Now we are making lower lows on this 15 minute. Actually, is it my 15? Yeah, 5 minute. We're making lower lows on our 5 minute. If we can get through the zero line on the MACD, this thing can really, really, really start to make that push to that downside. That psychological level 550 is holding. Alright, let's see if we can take another stab at it. It looks like we get into a little area where I see a little bit of a pivot point. Boom, reject. point, and if it dumps from here, it's going to fly right through that 50 level. See if we can recapture that wick. This is that area again. So like I said, right below this wick here, as that's 63, if we can stay under it, the pressure of that is going to push us right under 50 and then take us to that 531. I was thinking about option contract and see if I could just hold it for something for tomorrow and see if that premium will be juiced. But I think we're going to go, yep, there we go. Going to go down, get into that 50 level again. We just made a lower low on that regard. Could be a sweep. I'm leaning on. No, we're going to still get to 531. We just keep putting these kicks here. Just seeing if there's going to be some sense of a reversal coming up. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take one. Let me just take one and see how that goes. Because I think when we came down here, there might have been some bulls that wanted to push it back up. But I think the bears are sitting, waiting to kind of like trap them a little bit. Now, we could get all the way back up to 600 again on this move as they try to make this more bullish. But I'm looking at this 5 minute. The 5 minute looks like it's starting to really give up that zero line on the MACD. So that's why I kind of took that position. Oh, and then curling under 50. I think I'm gonna take another stab at it. Take another stab at dropping this. There we go. Boom. Take 6 off. Woo! That was the play. That was it. That was the play. I did not want to do it. Let me show y'all this P&L because y'all gonna think I'm crazy. $3,413, and I've got that one runner just riding. Let's see if we can go ahead and collect back down into about 2,500, and I still got my put that I just picked up. That thing's up 55%. Let's go. All right, that was the play. That said, mic drop. I'm done for the day. I'm gonna go monitor this on my own. I want to let y'all go ahead and enjoy the rest of your day. That said, I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great day, and I will see y'all tomorrow, same time, same trading day.